A few months ago, I had the privilege of visiting with one of my heroes, Rabbi Hurwitz, at his home in LA. Rabbi Hurwitz suffers from ALS, a condition that has paralyzed every muscle in his body with the exception of his eyes. It has not stopped his incredible emunah. He's an extraordinary hero. But when he wants to communicate, the only way he can is by moving his eyes. A sensor picks up that eye movement and spells it out. The effort to write a word and turn it into a sentence and communicate a thought, it takes tremendous effort. And at that visit, aside from being inspired with his emunah, I renewed my sense of appreciation for the incredible bracha of the power of speech. Something we take so for granted that when we open our mouth, we can communicate or transmit a thought or an idea. But you know, that ability is not just a blessing. It's also an awesome responsibility. Shlomo HaMelech tells us in Mishlei, Hamavos v'Chayim b'yad halashon, life and death are in the hands of the tongue. We can use our words to build up. We can use our words to encourage. We can use our words to create worlds. Or we could use our words to knock down, to destroy, to undermine. That is an awesome responsibility. In this period of Sfiras HaOmer, as we are climbing that ladder towards self-improvement, it's a time to reflect on how we embrace and use that power of speech, never to be taken for granted. Our Parsha tells us what happens, the one who gossips, and the one who therefore is covered with spiritual leprosy. It begins, Adam ki yed ba'or b'saro, when a person, an Adam, has leprosy on their skin. Why does it say Adam, not Ish or Gever? The commentaries tell us. Because it's supposed to remind us of the original Adam. When the pasuk tells us, Adam, vayhiya Adam lenefesh chaya, when man became a living, breathing, animated being, what differentiated us from the animal world? Animals are also alive. What made us different is the power of speech. We are supposed to be an Adam lenefesh chaya. We're supposed to embrace that gift, differentiate ourselves, elevate ourselves. We're supposed to be godly in our use of our power of speech. But the individual who gossiped, they lowered themselves. They were animal-like. They gave into their ego. They gave into that temptation to speak ill negatively, to destroy someone else's life. The Gemara Baba Basra Daf Tes tells us, you know, as we're living through this pandemic, we look around and there are people who have needs. There are people who are struggling financially. And everyone should dig deep. Those with wherewithal should help those who need help. If you do, you give a pruta l'nani, you get 6 blessings. But the Gemara continues, that a person who offers a kind word gets twice as many brachas. A kind word can't be deposited in the bank. A kind word won't pay the mortgage or put food on the table. We have to provide the material help, but it's the kind word that offers us the double blessing in return, because when a person is struggling, they don't just need material help, they need to be uplifted. They need to know they're thought of. They need to know they're cared about. They need to know they're loved, and that's why we were given the power of speech. Take a moment in this time of Sfira to think outside of ourselves, not only to write the check to others, but to write the text to others, to be able to reach out and make sure that people don't feel alone. FaceTime, tell a joke, offer a Dvar Torah, lift a spirit, offer a kind word. The Gemara in Brachos on Daf Vav tells us, Agra de Behilula, Milei. The reward for going to a wedding is for the words that we offer. What do you mean the words that you offer? It should be for the gift from the registry that you gave. Says the Gemara, say Chazal, no. The Chassan and Kal, the bride and groom, please God, they'll get wonderful gifts, but they need words of encouragement. They need validation and affirmation. They need support and love. We in this time have not been able to participate fully in simchas with one another as we are accustomed to do. But it's not enough to only send a gift in the mail. Send some love over email. Use our kind words. Call, text, reach out. Make people feel good, loved, thought of, that you are aware of them. Rabbi Yisrael Salanter wonders, why does last week's parsha, the laws of kashrus, why is it juxtaposed to this week's parsha, the laws of the power of speech? Says Rabbi Yisrael Salanter, it's a reminder that a Jew needs to be as careful or more careful with what comes out of our mouth as we are with what goes in our mouth. In the period of Sfira, a self-reflection, introspection, self-improvement, we are of course being careful with kashrus, we're being careful with Talmud Torah and davening, we're being scrupulous and vigilant with all of our relationship with Hashem. But he also wants to see us repair the damage done by the students of Rabbi Akiva who mistreated one another by caring about one another, the interpersonal relationships we have with those around us. That's why we were given this awesome power, the power of speech. Hamavos v'Chayim b'yad halashon, life and death are in our fingertips, in what we choose to text and write. They're on our tongue in what we choose to say. Use that gift and use that power to uplift others. And please God, we will all merit great redemption in return.